Well, you owed me a call, dear. Are you coming on the 100K tonight? You don't? Okay, let me see. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Barbara, how are you?
Good. I'm gotta send, Alexis doesn't do Facebook, so I gotta email her the link to get on.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'll be
No problem.
back. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Let me see if I can do this from my phone then.
Hey, Bernie.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Doing well, and you?
Doing fine and dandy.
Awesome, awesome. Good deal. Hanging in there?
Yep.
Awesome. What part of town do you live again? What's that?
I said chipping away one day at a time.
Nice, that's a good deal. That's all we can ask.
That's right.
Remind me again what part of town you live.
I live in Treasure Island.
Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Good place to be.
Oh, yeah. It's paradise every day.
Yeah, there you go. We got a nice sunset going tonight?
No, it just rained. We had a storm rolling through.
Oh, it isn't? I'm over here in Orlando, and it's not. We had some rain earlier, but nothing lately. So, perfect.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be over with for the night.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Let me see if I can grab the PowerPoint and get ready to roll.
So you expect a bunch of people here, right?
Well, we'll see. You know, there's always a declining slide as the sessions go on. Yeah, it sounds exciting at first, but then when the work kicks in and everything else, it doesn't sound so exciting.
I hear you.
Yeah, but that's all right. The ones that are supposed to be here will always show up.
That's right.
So.
I showed up.
Hey, Lori Shaw, you did. See,
hey.
And you were, which means you're supposed to be here. How's Arizona?
Arizona is good. Still pretty hot. We're not supposed to be this hot already in this season.
Yeah, well, I think you get overnight lows though, at least. Yeah,
overnight lows are good in the low 40s. Love it.
Oh wow, that's low. Good.
That's cold.
Yeah, that's downright chilly. But then it still get up in there you go. It still get up in the 90s.
Yeah, right now we are getting pretty close to 90s, and we shouldn't be this high yet. But it's been an unusual season this year.
Wow. All right.
And I think we've had maybe, I don't know, a teaspoon of rain in the whole area this
whole
time.
How long have you been out there?
Since 13.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's.
Yep. How'd I miss that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's crazy.
Time flies, when you're having fun or not.
That's right. See? And what took you out there?
Well, I decided when the market tanked and started coming back up, and I kind of I spent a lot of time out in California, and I just loved it out west. Mm-hmm. And then I had some family out here. In 2007, I came out here, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can see trees, and I can see land, and I can, it's not a sea of roofs like in Florida. And I thought, I can have the best of both worlds. So anyways, I made the move, and here I am.
Nice. Did you get licensed right away when you were out there?
Absolutely. I was hungry.
See, there you go. You had to. Whether you wanted to or not, here you go.
That's right.
There you go. Love it. Very good. And that's Mary. Is that Mary Wang?
Yes, it's me.
Hey, Mary. How are you?
How's everybody?
I'll let her. I'm good. I don't know about everybody else. I won't speak for everybody else, but I'm good.
I'm good.
Since the last meeting, whenever I have a lead and I talk to them for a few minutes and I mention to them about I'll stay loyal to them and I'll tell them and help them through the process. But when they purchase, don't go off and purchase from someone else and just set that expectation. And I think that really helps. I think.
Nice. Yeah, when we made those adjustments a little bit to try and kind of be a little bolder.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And looking to book another appointment from the first time we get together. So that's awesome.
Right.
Perfect. Jean, Brian, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you all?
Great. I'm great again.
Hi.
Good to hear you. We don't see you, but we hear you.
Oh, I thought I was there. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Two things. I'm finishing one thing up. It's like, how did it get to be 7 already? Woo.
I know. It goes fast.
How are you doing?
Time flies when you're building wealth like you.
Right.
See?
Brick by pebble by brick, but I'm having a great time.
There you go. That's all that matters.
They always say, how are you? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so great. I'm having the best time in life. And I am. Every day is a joy. So that's contagious, by the way. I love it.
Yeah, that is very contagious.
Hey, Bob, are we going to cut off at 8 tonight?
What's that?
Are we going to end this at 8? Our president's having a town meeting at the White House.
Oh, well, that's every night he's having a town meeting. So, yeah, so you can hop off anytime you want. We'll try and get going, get through as much as we can. So if you need to hop off, feel free. That's not a problem at all.
Okay.
So,
I do you have a North Carolina license?
North Carolina? I do not. No.
Oh, I thought you lived in the Carolinas.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
perfect.
Do you know anybody there?
In Tennessee or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
I do not. Who does? Bernie does.
Mm-hmm.
Get in. What part of North Carolina, Bernie?
I was up in Charlotte.
Oh, very good. Is that where you would live? Were you in banking?
No.
Oh, okay. Automatically assume that because
manufacturing.
Okay, awesome. Very, very good.
Yep.
All right, let's say hey to everybody else. We got Mary Wang, got Jean, got Maria. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you guys? My first time here. So I'm
Oh,
excited.
it's your first time in 100K?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Good. I'm glad you
it.
could join us. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go fast, too.
Okay.
Judy. Which Judy is this?
Ruzick. I don't know why it's not coming up.
Oh, yeah, it just says Judy.
Yeah. This is Ruzick. Judy
All right.
Ann.
Judy Ann Haruzik. We
Yeah.
love that. It's because
Yeah,
your last name. Because your last name wouldn't fit on the screen. That's why.
That may be, but usually it comes up though. But it's a new computer and I can't figure out how to get my picture on here. So I'm working on it.
Oh, there should be like 3 little dots. If you go by your
Yeah.
box, there's 3 little dots. Click on the 3 dots and ask to, well, you could start video, I think is one of those options.
Oh, is that what? Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if that was. Okay.
Yeah.
I clicked it.
See, there, look at that. See?
Things you learn, eh?
The things you learn. That is awesome. Kevin in the USA. How are you?
Hey, Kevin.
Kevin. Hello. Kevin.
Oh, he's mute.
Kevin. Calling Kevin.
I am right here.
Hey, there he is. Sorry, Kevin was having a bank-owned open house today. That's why he said,
Nice.
are you still there? Are you still there writing a contract right now as we speak?
It got so busy at the end of it. I was there for another hour,
See?
which I kind of anticipated that.
Well, I mean,
awesome.
you know what? Wait, time out. Bank-owned open house. What's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
What time were you there?
I was there from 11:30 till 4:30, 5 o'clock.
11:30 in the morning till 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right? But whoa. Shouldn't you have been watching Law and Order reruns instead? Huh?
No.
No?
Not this guy.
Okay. All right. Good deal. I'm just telling you, I got all sorts of agents. I want to make money. And then what'd you do this afternoon? Well,
Yeah.
you know, Friends had a marathon on whatever channel Friends is on.
Not me.
It's like,
Open house.
yeah, see, but you could do it any day, though, especially here in Florida. I tell you guys all this time, No, there isn't. It was not part of, who are my newer licensees? Who got a license in the last 6 months? Bernie, Maria?
No, 2 years.
Oh, okay, perfect. Anybody else brand new? No? Okay. Yeah, remind us, Maria, right? Was there anywhere on the test that it says Chapter 475 of the Florida statute says open houses can only be held on Saturday or Sunday?
No.
I didn't think so either. It's been a while, unless they amended the Florida statute. But last I remembered, I did a ton of them, Kevin, just like that, and I think it's great. And I even did it at drive time a lot when people, if I could catch a traffic generating event, a hot property. Now, a hot property, remember, is not one that sells quickly, right? A hot property is one that doesn't sell but brings in a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you want. You just want opportunities to meet people, right? So you don't want this to sell. So, and we talked about that, I think, on week 1, right? About my goose that laid the golden egg, and someone finally sold it, and I cried because I sold a ton of homes from that thing, right? So when you find those things, take advantage of them. Take advantage. Yeah. All right, Maria, you're going to have to hang on and have you watched any of the past ones, Maria?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, that's all right, no problem. They're on FHR University. You can catch up. We have several seasons of 100K you can watch, but if you want to watch the 2 that came, this is fall 2020. You can catch the first 2 if you want as we went through. This is going to be a little more interactive with you guys because I want to hear your stories. Good afternoon, evening. I'm sorry, Sandra Mexicano. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien. On my stand-up desk is my new stand-up desk.
Oh, you have a stand-up desk?
Mm-hmm.
Fancy. See? Yeah, I love that. Good deal. We'll stop every 5 minutes and have you do jumping jacks. All right. That's perfect. I love that. Alexis, how are you? I see you on there.
Good. How about you?
Good. You're on here twice, actually. We got 2 Alexis. We have Alexis in stereo.
I'm getting you in stereo.
Well, there's 2 of you. So I don't know if somehow you got logged on twice, but that's better than not enough. Better 2 times than never, right? You're trying to catch up for the last ones you missed. So you're saying that doesn't work that way. All right. Logging on twice on 1 session does not make up for a missed session, just so you know.
Will 3 times work?
No, come on, I'm on to you. All right. You got to remember, I was a teacher. I know all the tricks. I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I have eyes all around my head. It's all the way around. All right. Perfect. I could see it. Too funny. All right. Let's get to business. Let's get down to business. All right. Remember, we had 2 systems that were working. System 1 is what we call corn planting, right? It's trying to generate business out of thin air. And the key here is a traffic generating event, things that we were just talking about with Kevin, right? And Kevin, I'm going to have you tell a story. And Barbara Ann, I think you had one that was really good. Remember, this is simple.
I got this.
You got this, right? We're not going to overcomplicate this business. Quit trying to over-educate yourself. Forget about GRI, CRS, MLM, DLTU, PL, ABC, DFG, right? Forget all those, right? The only symbol we're looking for is the $sign, or actually we want more commas in our bank account. That's what we're looking for. That's the only thing I want you to have is commas, all right? And so with that in mind, how are we going to do that? We're not going to paralyze ourselves by overanalyzing, right? We're just going to go do. We're going to have an open house from 11:30 to 3:30 that forces us to stay at 4 to 4:30 because people keep coming through the door, right? You know, that is, I'm telling you, those are out there, right? So I'm going to have Kevin tell us a little bit about how he got that bank-owned open houses. Now, again, we teach a little bit bank-owned open houses. Why? Because they tend to generate more traffic. Now, again, things can be, and it's all about the traffic, right? Yes. It doesn't matter. You're not looking for this is the most awesome house, right? I don't care about the home. I care about the traffic, because the more opportunities you have, the better you get and the easier it gets. And quite frankly, odds are on your side, right? You know, if anything, right? If I do anything more times, all right, statistics tell us I've got a better chance of hitting the gold mine, or at least a silver vein, if I have more opportunities to be in front of people, right? So we're just looking for that traffic. We're going to learn to get really good. And this is what Mary was talking about before she had to leave last time, Mary Wang, right? Was how do we, it's one thing to have traffic, but if that traffic is unconverted, right, then what good does that do us? And I'm just reminding us back to where his kind of revisiting, because it's been 3 weeks since we met, is don't forget that our goal is not to have them sign in. Remember, we spent quite a bit of time last time saying, stop the sign-in sheet, and I call it a victory because I had 32 people on my sign-in list, right? For me, I'd rather than 32 people on your sign-in sheet, I want one person you're showing property to 3 days from now, right? That's way better. And so we got to have that call to action right now, because I kind of laid some truth on you and said those 32 people that are on your sign-in sheet, you're never going to see them again, ever. Quit fooling yourself. And all you're doing is creating more work, because then you're saying, oh, what do I have to do tomorrow? I got to write 32, personal notes to these people, or email them, or enter them in my database and all. So you're filling up a database of a bunch of people who aren't responding to any of your overtures, right? So rather than that, why not? Let's find out now. Are we in? Are we out? Are we on? Here we go. Remember we talked about the 4 questions about a buyer, and anybody remember those? To be a buyer in my book, they have to be able to buy. All right, let's go dust off those cobwebs. Able to buy. All right. Willing to buy / realistic. Right. Remember, that's, we're not looking for the buyers that say, hey, if you find something 40% under value, let me know. Right. Yeah. If I find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I'll tell you as well. Right. It's just not happening. Right. And so, especially in today's market. So, quit thinking that's a buyer. All right. Or going on these wild goose chases for people that aren't being realistic. Right. Or they're going to, make offers that are way below market value in today's market. You don't have time for that. Sorry. We got corn to plant. Right. There's only so much. There's a short season in corn. We got to get it in the ground and we got to harvest it. Right. So, don't get caught in that. Right. So, willing / realistic. The third one is that they have, they need to buy. Right. I mean, it's not, and when I say need to buy, there's motivation and there's a time frame on this thing. It's not like, oh yeah, I think I might buy sometime between now and the next election cycle. Right. It's like, okay, well, yeah, in the next 4 years. All right. I need to pay my own bills before that. So I'm sorry. It's not going to work for me. Right. I'm glad, you want to put them on your drip campaign, have fun, but don't pretend that they're a buyer, because they're not. Right.
Right.
And the fourth one, very critical, and this is what most people are missing, is loyal to you. Right. And not loyal to you because you had them sign a piece of paper. Right. If anybody, and I am not going to tell you a lot of negatives there. I'm not going to tell you to avoid doing an exclusive buyer agency agreement. Right. That's fine. You can do them, but I'll tell you this, the next one of those that is enforced will be the first one. Okay. So
Is that a fact?
That is a fact, right? Because the only way to enforce that, it's not, you don't take them to the board of realtors, you take it to civil court, right? And yeah, there's a real good picture. Here's my realtor friend that made me sign this document, and I did or may not have fully understood what I was signing. And News Channel 8's out there at their house saying, yeah, I'm getting sued for the full commission because I went to a for sale by owner and went to contract without it, right? Not going to happen. You don't want that negative press. I don't want that negative press. And when I say that, unless you are signing someone up to $100 million, you're going to go find them $100 million commercial property, then you might want to have them sign an exclusive buyer agency agreement. But if you are going to do that, then I suggest you hire an attorney to write up a really tight one for you, not the one that's in our form simplicity forms. Now, that being said, is there some type of psychological tie to you if they sign one? It's possible, all right? So I'm not saying don't do it. Just don't think that, oh, now that I've got that, they're never going to use anybody else, right? You better lock them in. And the way to lock them in is within the next 3 days, let's go look at some properties, right? Let's go, you know what I mean? Now they start to see how good you are, right? Instead of they're being obligated to use you. Now they say, why wouldn't I use Alexis? Why wouldn't I use Kevin? Why wouldn't I use Gene? Because I'm seeing how good they are, right? They're showing me. And so that's how they're going to do it, right? So
Frozen.
All partners. Go ahead. What was that? Anybody? No. Nope.
The video froze.
The video from what?
I think you got
Your video is freezing.
Oh, my video's freezing? Okay, hang on. Hang on. Let me see. Sometimes I have to go old school and hardwire in. I should have a good connection. This is where my...
Oh, it's frozen.
We lost you, Bob. You're stuck. You're
That's
stuck in time. You're frozen.
Do I look good at least if I'm frozen?
Yeah.
All right. Am I frozen? Am I frozen in a good?
Go back.
Yeah.
Am I back? Okay, good.
You're back.
You're live. Every time you freeze, though, isn't like you're like frozen, like right? You know, it's like
Kind of young Elvis look going on there.
Yeah, that was, you know, kind of, you know, I like that. Thank you very much. But you ever notice that when people freeze, it's never frozen like on a really good shot of them. It's always this distorted frame that looks all odd. All right, so where did I leave you off then? Talking about
a piece of paper not really tying somebody to you. You have
yeah,
to
right.
and just
yeah,
do it.
and you got to prove yourself. And once you do that, now they're like, hey, why would I use somebody else? Right?
Oh,
now
no.
they're experiencing you, right? And seeing how it's all working. And so, Kevin, you said something about video. Oh, was your remark about video? My video was frozen. Is that what you're saying?
Your video's still freezing, Bob.
Yeah,
you're still freezing.
It's not freezing here.
Now.
I see it
here.
fine.
It's alive over
It's not
here.
freezing here neither.
Yeah,
Kevin,
it's
where
on
are
my-
you?
What do you?
Kevin's still at his open house. He said he can't leave.
Yeah. Kevin, you are frozen in time because you're doing so well up there.
That's right.
Oh,
see?
boy.
That's good.
Thing.
All right.
That's a great thing.
And that is a great thing. You know, I want someone to
My
join
video.
our Zoom session from an open house so we can do it live right there and see how that'd be great. Have someone walk in and say, hey, look, and we get to critique your ability to convert on live on air. That'd be awesome.
That is awesome.
That would be awesome. So, that's a challenge. All right.
Kevin,
So
you're up.
that's right, Kevin. Let's go. All right. All right. So when we get good at converting, right, we're going to get good at investor buying, right? And we'll have a session. And if you're really jonesing to go find out about investors and how to work with them, I've got a great class on FHR University, which is called Speaking the Language of an Investor. And it's a really cool class because it talks about how to, and when I'm talking about investors, I'm talking about buy and hold investors, right? People that are looking to create a cash flow from a property. You know, in that class, I say, hey, look, if you know, that's what we're going to talk about today. But if you want the bonus class on how to flip, all right, I'll give it to you right now. You ready? Buy low, sell high. In the class.
That's great advice.
Right, you know, that's about the, you know, yeah, but how do you find that property? Yeah, you know, how do I do anything that's impossible, right? You know, it's, you know, so we don't talk about that. We talk about the investor who's looking to hold property long term, or at least for a couple of years, create value by the cash flow. So take a look at that. Work first-time home buyers with vigor because that's critical, right? You're going to meet that ability to do that. And then let your buyers lead you to your listings. If you remember this slide, is that rather than having the old school thought of I've got to have listings because that's where I'll get my buyers, is that instead we're going to do what Kevin's doing, is we're going to go have open houses and then start working with buyers. And whether it's the buyer has a home to sell, the buyer has an aunt who has a home to sell, the buyer has a friend who works with them at the whatever manufacturing place that has a home to sell, whatever the case may be, you will find it's a lot easier to get yourself going, right, by working with buyers than it will be trying to chase that elusive listing. Unless, I mean, don't get me wrong, would I rather, right, just sit back and list homes and let everybody else do all the work and, you know, just have the offers come in and negotiate them? Absolutely. The problem is getting those listings, right? And so here is a better way that we can do this. Now, Kevin, real quick, so tell us, it was a bank-owned open house, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. It's not your listing.
No.
Okay. And how did you get that? How did you get the permission to do an open house there?
Well, I went ahead and I had this great membership to Tampa Realtors, and I just paid my dues for next year. I'm ready to go.
Good. Awesome.
So I did a search basically of REOs. And,
right. So you searched Stellar, specifically check the box REO listings you're looking for. Did you narrow it down to a certain area, or did you say REOs in Stellar?
It starts out with a wide, but I did do 2-bedroom, 2-bath homes.
Okay.
And then I narrowed it down, and the first one was closest to my house. I called them. And in the listing, though, it did say that it was it was renter occupied, so I didn't bother with that one at all.
Good.
There was a couple of them like that. One of them, they never called me back. And then another one, I got the agent's assistant on there. And she said, let me ask the agent. And sure enough, she said, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. I asked them about promoting it on social media. They said, no problem. So it's actually a Keller Williams listing.
Awesome. I was going to ask. Okay, so it's a Keller Williams office, and you're not with Keller Williams, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, so there's no rule. Again, Chapter 475. There's no rule that says you have to be in the same office. Now, some of them, I just want to give you a heads up. When you start making these calls, sending those emails, sending text messages, however you're trying to get in touch with these agents, right? They are. Some of them will say, "Hey, you know, it's against our policy." All right, great. Don't argue with them.
Yeah.
Right? Just, okay, great. Hey, if policy ever changes, let me know. All right. In the meantime, you know, if I got a buyer for your particular property, I'll see if I can show it if I run across somebody that's looking. Thanks for taking the time, and I'm gone. Right? It's that simple. Right? So you're like,
lo and behold, Bob, I never spoke to the agent. I've only spoke to the assistant.
Perfect.
And then I got a call from their recruiting agent at Keller Williams. Sure they tried to recruit me.
Yeah, right. And, absolutely. Why wouldn't they? Hey, here's a go-getter, right? This person's going above and beyond.
Yeah, so I did explain to them, you know, how I ended up at Future Home, and I got some mentors here, and I got some really great people. And I said, I do appreciate you reaching out to me to recruit me. And I said, I commend you, because that's excellent. You got a free lead, and you called right back. I complimented her on that.
Sure, why not?
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Very good. So you locked it in. Now, did you lock it in for just today, or have you sat this before? Was this the only day you sat the open house?
No, I set it for today and tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Very good. And so tell us about your day today. 11:30, you got there. Now, what does your sign say?
I got some really bright yellow, orange, and green construction paper, and I split it down the middle, and I put on bank owned in bright letters.
On top of your regular open house sign?
Yes.
Perfect. You don't have them there with you, by you? Do you have them there with you? Do you have it there with you that you could show us?
It's in the truck. I can go get it. It's out in the car.
Okay. So when we shift over, I'd love for the group to just see, because it doesn't matter, guys, right? Just so you know, you can go out and get special bank owned or bank foreclosure open house, right? Signs. You can take your regular open house signs. A lot of agents have their regular open house signs are the corrugated ones that have the kind of the holes, I'm talking about when I say the corrugated plastic, right? And then they'll go to Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, and just get the 6-inch rider that's 6 inches high, and then get the little mini wire that sits on top of the regular open house. And you can do that. You can do what Kevin did with construction paper. Obviously, right? Whatever you did. So tell us about, so you got the signs, you got them in there, you showed up, it's vacant. How many signs did you put out?
I probably put out about 35 to 40 signs.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Because the more the better, right? Where's Wall, visit
Yeah.
Rock City, visit Rock City, visit Rock City, visit Rock City, right? Don't, make sure you go to Wall Drug, you guys
Yeah.
don't know these, okay? But you start directing people in from as far out as you can, give them plenty of opportunity to change lanes and slow down, put on their blinker and get to you.
Yeah.
Right? Where was the house, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
Where was it?
Yeah.
It's in Lake Magdalene, between Bears and Fletcher.
Okay. Price point?
$269,900.
$269,900. How many bedrooms, baths?
3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car.
Okay. Condition?
It needs a lot of cosmetics.
Perfect.
Conventional financing and FH and cash only.
Perfect.
They would not go FHA on it.
Okay. How's it smell?
A bit musty.
Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. If you are asthmatic, sit out on the porch. Right.
I bought a canopy, Bob, a 10 by 10 from Walmart for $40.
That's awesome. See, it's like you have a little tent going on out there. It's a little revival meeting. I love it.
Bob, I got to say, with this open house, there was a lot of prep work before.
Uh-huh.
I had to get the broker's MLS sheet. I had to study it.
Yeah.
I went on RPR and I created a flyer on RPR for that particular home.
Awesome.
I also, I did a comp analysis on the RPR as well. So
Awesome.
and then I texted to myself so I could text it to somebody else if they want.
Beautiful. By the way, you guys should be writing this down. This is all great stuff right here. And this is your first one?
Open house?
Oh, no, bank owned.
Yes, first bank
Okay.
owned. Actually, no, I did one in Kissimmee last week, and then that's another story.
Okay.
It was
That's
in really
fine.
ugly bad shape. But there was a lot of prep work getting this signage ready, putting
Mhm.
arrows on the sign, and putting bank owned on there. So I took a little bit of time so I could launch it properly.
Yeah, but yeah, that's perfect. But I mean, can you reuse those signs?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, you're going to do some. I mean, for Pete's sake. I mean, I'm saying not to you, but the rest of you guys, right? You can't expect, this real estate license is not a genie in a bottle where you just rub it and all of a sudden money starts coming out, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some creativity, some thought. So kudos to you. So keep going. So you set out 35, 40 signs, Lake Magdalene, got going around 11:30. You did all the prep work. You had an RPR report that you could text to people. So you had it ready to go, which is a great idea. Can I tell you now, I'm going to date myself, right? Because I told you this is how I built my whole career, right? Was on these very things, right? 1993, though, we weren't texting RPR reports to ourselves, all right? Okay, all right? These listings weren't even in the MLS, right? Because they were owned by HUD and they were just there. So the only thing I could do was print the public records, right? And when I say print, 1990, who's been around? 93? I got some long in the tooth agents, right? I can see you. All right. Okay. 1993. When I say print, you know what I mean?
Dot matrix. You
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dot matrix, perforated pages. It printed, never was on the right, perforated page. It was half on the one and half on the bottom. So, but the only thing I could do, the only information I had was the public record. So I print the public records page, right? Get and take my card, my business card, tape it to like the bottom right-hand corner, right? And put that face down on the copy machine at the office and make like 40 copies and be ready to go, right? That was my big takeaway for them, right? Was for them to have a copy of the public records. But that was only if they asked for it and they wanted it. But you do want to have something, and the more stuff like Kevin's describing, the better. Because what happens? Now he becomes the expert in their eyes the minute they walk in the door, right? Because he's prepared. He's like, oh yeah, this home is this, and here's the beauty. And we wouldn't say this if the listing agent was on the class with us, right? But the fact that Kevin's with Future Home and they're with Keller Williams, there's no agency transaction broker relationship. You can be brutally honest with buyers, right? When it's your own listing, right? Or quite frankly, another Future Home agent's listing, if you read that transaction broker notice, we got to be a little careful about what we say, right? Whereas when I used to say them all the time when it was Remax, right, was the listing agent, and I was with whoever at the time, right? And people would come in, they're like, they want 161 for this? I'm like, yeah, what are they doing? Smoking crack? I know, it's crazy. There's no way. Right? I said, there's no way in heck, all right, I'd pay 161 for this, right? But I can say that because I had no fiduciary to the seller, right? Now, I guess you technically you get yourself in trouble if they send in a spy to find out what you're saying, right? They may not give you the next open house, but that's all right. I ran the risk. Those, I'd already had a dialogue with the listing agent anyway. So, hey, dude, what are they, smoking crack? And he's like, yeah, I know, I can't get them to come down, but hey, give me feedback. Tell me, because that'd be good if I had a bunch of people come through an open house and tell me how overpriced it is. Maybe I could get Fannie Mae or whoever owned it to come down on the price. So, all right, cool. So then you had all this stuff ready to go, 11:30 on a Wednesday, all right? And what happens?
Well, I also have a flag that's like 16 feet in the air that I have to pound a stake in the ground.
That is, and what does the flag say?
It says open house.
Open house, right? Just massive open house.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it doesn't matter if your open house is from 12 to 4. When they see you there, your house is open. It was like 11:30, and they were coming up to the door. So I said, hey, come on in. I wasn't completely ready, but it didn't matter. It was game on.
Whoa, back it up. Okay, so before you were actually fully set up, before you could pound your 16-foot flag in the ground, right? People were already showing up.
Yes.
I'm telling you guys are saying, how come open houses are dead? Nothing works anymore. The people, they look at houses online. No one shows up to open houses.
Hey, Bob, when I say I wasn't prepared, I bring a change of clothes with me. And I didn't even get a chance to change my shirt. They got me as I was. Now I did shoot some deodorant, but you know what? It was hot.
Because you were out there in the sun and the heat, putting out your signs.
Yeah, I wasn't in my the best clothes I wanted to wear, but it actually didn't make a damn bit of difference.
It doesn't. They don't care. I'm telling you, they want a hardworking agent. They don't want the prima donna, Rolex jangling, Corvette driving, right? Oh, sorry, I got an appointment at the club here in about a half an hour, right? They don't want that, right? They want someone that like them, down to earth, and let's get down to business, and this dude can help me. That's awesome. All right, so cool. So you weren't ready. You had a little stink going on you, little funk, right? And then you threw some deodorant on. Love it. All right. Yeah. And then so what was their take on the house? Was it overpriced? What's your opinion?
Since the air was not on in the house, I did stay outside where it was a little cooler,
Was there power at the house? Was there power on at the house?
Yes, there was, but the air, they must have pulled the breaker on the condenser because the air was on, but there must have been a problem with it. So they just pulled it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I stayed outside and I printed up the flyers from RPR and I handed them each person my card. But I explained to each one of them, I said, thank you for coming to the open house and appreciate you wearing the mask. And I explained it was a bank owned and it's cash and conventional financing only. And I said, go ahead, take your time, go check it out. And I'll see you when you're done.
Well, wait. That's a script right there. I'm telling you, that works, right? That's as simple as it gets, guys. What am I going to say? I'm never going to do an open house because I don't know what to say. You say that, right? And I'd say, hey, you know what? This is kind of cool, but the whole mask thing is, COVID, but mold also. Wait till you take a whiff when you go in there, right? Okay, you'll be glad you had a mask on, right? You make it light, right? Just make it fun. You start to be engaging already to them, right? And you start to, there's a reason why they call it winsome, right? Okay, because when you're winsome, you tend to win some, right? You really do, right? It's just, people want to be around. Now, some people, did you run into any sourpusses? I don't want you to stop it. Just,
It was a neighbor.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I say, hey, dude, how about, why don't you go, who do you want to live here? Pick your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right?
He tried to get the price down and he looked at it. He wouldn't actually tell me what he thought it was worth because he was getting kind of like, you know, it's overpriced. I said, well, what do you think it's worth? And there was another couple there listening to him too. You know, in fact, the guy was talking so much, the wife went in the house and looked at it, and her husband was out here because this guy was just like holding him back. But he never would come up with the price. You know, he's got cash, he's got this, he's got that. You know,
another lesson real quick. You are going to meet these investors and these cash buyers and everything else at these open houses, right? Beware, all right? In Texas, they have a saying that says, all hat, no cattle.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Beware. Beware of the person who talks big and says, oh yeah, they come in wearing the 40-gallon hat, all right, and the big belt buckle, but there's no bank note, there's no bank account to back that up. Right.
Yeah. Well, okay. I ran into so many people who had cash, Bob, that I thought I missed out on a big lottery pool because they're all coming to this house.
People are selling houses. You know, 261 to somebody who sold a home in New York is like, I'm telling you, it's right. It's nothing, guys. Right? Don't forget, it is. People are waiting to buy houses from you. Right.
Well, you know, Bob, another thing is, I ran past the racetrack gas station, and you know how much a gallon of gas was at racetrack today? $1.99.
Love it.
Can you believe it? In this day and age, in 2020, we're in one of the best states in the U.S. that gas $1.99, and there's a home in really a great neighborhood for $270,000.
Yeah, come on. Run the numbers on that. What's a PITI? You're going to be, even if you put 10% down, you're doing this. If you know what I mean? Start to tell that story, right? That story is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, because that enthusiasm will sell people, right? I'm not trying, you're going to talk them into buying this home. If they like the home, they're going to buy it. If not, more importantly, I want them to like you, right? So they say, this guy has his shooby-doo together, and I'm going to hang with this dude. Why wouldn't you buy a house from a guy with a 16-foot open house pole sign, right? I would, right? I'm just telling you, that's all. And he can text me stuff. If he's able to do this, I bet you could do it for any home, right? And remember, oh, this one's really not for us. I'm not looking for someone that needs so much work. Great. How about if I get your information, let me email you a list of some properties that don't need as much work, right? And then, hey, let me ask real quick. Let me grab my calendar, whether it's on your phone or whatever. Hey, today's Wednesday. So are you, obviously is today your day off? What's going, you know what I mean? Or do you work weekend? Or no. So you're free. So Friday, Saturday, what works better for you? Why don't we just go take a peek at a few homes? Because the best way to really get a feel for what's going on is I'll email you. You might have 40 homes on this list. Why don't you pick out your top 4 and let's just go take a look at them. Just so we get the whole, it's a little bit different seeing homes right now in the COVID era anyway. So at least we can get that practice down and go take a look at a few. How's that sound? Right? What are they going to say? No, right? That's the worst thing they can say, right? Is no, right? But not here, sign in. Let's go look at homes. And they will say yes. Right? But I'm just telling you, let's look at a worst case scenario. But I'm saying that because I've done this enough and taught this group thing enough to know people are like, oh no, I could never say that. Why not? Mm-hmm. Right? Because, and once you get it through your thick skull, and by the way, there's Maria, this is your first one. All right, we do not pull punches here. All right? Because we don't make $100 grand by being nice and patting you on the hand and saying, oh, good try. Good try, right? Okay, right? We aren't trying here, right? We're doing. And so with that in mind, once we get it through our thick skull that we're never going to see them again anyway, unless I book another session with them, right? Then it alleviates all the fear, right? Hey, look, let me just throw it out there, right? Because if not, they're giving me a fake number and a bad email address anyway, all right? Then I'm going to chase. Why not figure it out now, right? And let's get down to business. Cool. All right. So how was your response? So you had the neighbor that was, Mr. Know-it-all, whatever. Okay. Tell me you've got some prospects you think that could work with from this.
Well, Bob, you know what my biggest fear was?
What's that?
That somebody wanted to put an offer in.
Oh, why? Because you have to write up the offer?
Yeah, I haven't done
Oh,
that yet. I mean,
well,
but realistically,
Mock one up. Write an offer. All right, tomorrow before you go to the open house.
I got 2 offers on this house.
You got 2 offers on that home.
Yeah. One is the cash, and the other one was the financing. I actually, my laptop here is already set for form simplicity.
I'll help you. I'll help you.
Get off the call and write the freaking offer, dude.
I was actually the 2 people from Future Home that brought me in. I was on the phone with this other couple that brought me in from Future Home, and they gave me quite a bit of quick information.
Nice. Beautiful. So you're writing 2 offers on the bank-owned property that you sat today.
Yes.
Good for
in the class. All right, you guys, Kevin, you take over. Kevin, you take over, and I'll be back.
Get a pizza.
Yay.
I'm telling you guys, I love those stories, right? Because what did it take? Implementation, right? It wasn't. There was some preparation on the front side, right?
Yeah. There's a third offer. There's a third offer coming possibly. This person wanted to see the home, but his agent couldn't get a hold of the listing agent to see it. And I'm like, I would have blown his phone up. But I said, you ask your other agent one more time. If not, I'll write an offer up for you.
Sure, absolutely. This guy's not going to be around because this thing's not sticking around. And you're free. You obviously can't tell them what the other offers are, but I've got other people that are interested in it. I'm not the listing agent, and I don't know. They might have other offers beyond what I'm ready to put. How long has the house been on the market? Do you know?
11 days.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful, right? I was telling you and here's the thing. You are getting 2 people to write offers. When you get to the point of people writing offers with you, that becomes habitual. What I mean by if they trust you enough, hey, to let you write an offer for me, right? Even if they don't get it, you lock them in. All right. Hey, sorry, we missed that one. Let's go find some other stuff, right? Let's go. Kudos, huge job. Great job, Kevin. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Love those stories.
I got a comment. After our last meeting, a family member was hemming and hawing about having me list their home. Well, I ended up getting the listing, and it's in Windermere.
Right.
It's over there. It's behind Disney World. So I did an open house that following weekend, which would have been October 3rd or 4th. And I had some good traffic come through. And I ended up spending the week over there, the following week over there on Wednesday. And I was going to do some more open houses to get some activity going on there because I really feel like I want to get the buyer too. I want both sides. So an agent from another brokerage called me on Friday and asked if she could do the open houses there. And I was so proud. I'm like, absolutely. I really am excited because I'm going to spend a little bit of time in this jacuzzi and pool and relax for a little bit.
There you go.
Create my next game plan for the week coming up. So
that's awesome.
And then I went on and did a search in the MLS for an REO in Kissimmee, and I found one, and it was in bad shape. And the agent let me do 2 days of open houses there on Saturday and Sunday.
How was the traffic at that one?
Not much traffic.
Yeah.
But I still got to connect with some customers and that.
Yep.
And
here's the other thing: you get to practice too, right?
Yes,
Who knows that maybe your practice that you had at the Kissimmee led to now I felt just an inkling more comfortable at this one. And now that was what we don't know, right? It's impossible to know.
Our beloved Tom Brady, they only work 1 day a week, but they practice 4 days a week, 5 days a week.
Right. So true.
Yeah.
It's true. Good point.
So
awesome.
Past Monday, as I'm looking for some open houses to do, another agent calls me and wants to do an open house on my listing again.
Yep.
So I said, sure, you got it.
Why not? Get that thing exposed, right? And now you're having that's beautiful. So you're seeing what's like
my goal was to take my mind off that listing and focus on my the REOs and doing some open houses. And while I'm leveraging my time, somebody else is promoting it. I'm like, that is just fantastic.
That's beautiful. Kudos. That is, and way to implement, right? A little fearful, right? You've never done it before. What's this going to be like? So what, right? how do you, just again,
Well,
I told
honestly,
you.
Bob, as realtors, we're the bus driver.
Sure.
We're driving the bus, and we're going to say when the door shuts, when the door opens, when it starts, and it stops. If we don't know something, well, you better ask for directions. And I got a lot of people in my circle, including Maria, she's on here, and that I can ask a question. I'm going to tap the brakes, slow it down, downshift, ask the questions, and then once I get an answer, I'm going to speed it back up.
That is, yeah, and I'm just telling you guys, now again, this is all corn, because if you do not have business coming in, I don't have this, 4,800 people, sphere of influence. That's just, people are calling me and I can't, I got to turn my phone off because I got so many people that want to look at properties, right? That kind of, eventually you want to get there, right? Where but until you're there, this is a way. I have agents that are some of our top producers that are cappers in our company, right? That have sat bank-owned open houses, but they're through that season, right? They're done, right? They've been able to establish their business, but this got them through some rougher patches and got some things going and whatever. But I've got a call say, hey, you know what, Bob? Every time if I get a little slow, all right, I break out and I dust off the old bank-owned open house signs, right? And get them out there, because if nothing else, activity breeds activity, right? Hashtag that one. Activity breeds activity. It will always happen. I don't know. So there's a story probably about 3 years ago. There's an agent that had been with us for about 4 years, right? Had never been to 100K, kind of, floundering a little bit, sold a few homes, he was kind of part-time doing some other stuff, right? But then he got, came to 100K and said, all right, I'm going to sit some bank-owned open houses. So he did what Kevin did, researched it, found some people that were willing to do it, started sitting some bank-owned open houses. And he came back to the next 100K meeting. And what happened was he didn't sell anything, doesn't have anybody from his bank-owned open houses that he's working with, but he had 3 people from his sphere that all of a sudden, out of the blue, right, all of a sudden wanted to do business with him. And what he did is that he, like Kevin did, I saw Kevin, that's why I knew Kevin had an open house today, because he posted it, right, is that they saw his post on Facebook or other social media, whatever he was doing, and then that reminded his sphere that, oh yeah, Juan, or whatever his name was, is a realtor, and they reached out, hey Juan, you know what I mean? And so that's an evidence of activity breeds activity. When you start to do things and you're not out there saying, hey, I need your buyer referrals. You're just saying, hey, I'm going to be at an open house today. That's it, right? And they say, oh yeah, Maria's a realtor. I forgot about that. And here we go, right? It's activity breeds activity. Don't ever forget it, right? Law and Order reruns do not breed activity. Hashtag that one. All right. Okay. Remember, activity breeds activity. Everybody cool with that? All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you know what? That's perfect, because that's a step-by-step, soup to nuts, start to finish, right? How Kevin reached out to the listing agent, how he found the listing agents, what he did. He got some no's a couple times, stayed with it, got a yes, tried to get recruited after he got a yes, because they saw what a go-getter he was. Then all the steps through, set up his signs, was prepared, got there, didn't have time to even put his deodorant on, and then next thing you know, he's writing an offer, right? So they wrote an offer with you even though you never changed shirts?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. All right. Who would write an offer with somebody with, pit stains going, right? Gee, many Christmas. I'm telling you guys, you just got to loosen up. Florida allows us some flexibility, by the way, in what is considered business dress, right? Hang around for a while, you'll see, right? It's just like, oh, those are my good flip-flops, right? That's, now I'm ready for business, right? Okay. So but for me, all right, the difference, for me was a lot of times my business dress depended on whether I had a crease in my shorts or not. Right? Okay. Oh, those are my crease shorts, right? So therefore, those are my dress shorts, and I'm ready to go, right? But if I'm sitting, because I was sitting in HUD foreclosures in July in 1994 with no heat, no air conditioning, nothing going on, no water in the house. I'm not going Century 21 gold coat. All right, not happening. Right? Okay. Sorry. And so just gonna find other things. So again, awesome. Anybody have any questions for Kevin, real quick, before we move on?
Yeah, so far the biggest challenge I see is to retrieve the 40 signs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know what? Before I removed the last open house sign in the yard, I had the keys to put back in lockbox in my hand. I looked to the left, I looked to the right, it was clear. I yanked them down, I put the sign in my trunk, and I put the keys in the lockbox, and I got the heck out of there.
Well, but what a problem to have, right? Oh my gosh, I got to get out of here before the next buyer lead shows up. Seriously, right? Where the rest of the world is like, oh my gosh, how do I get anybody to work with, and how do I get someone to come to my open house and whatever, right? But now it's like, oh my gosh, I hope no one else comes, right? I told you, it's a mindset, right? I told you at the very beginning, if you remember back to the first session, I'm going to show you how to get so busy, you're going to pick and choose who you work with. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of you looked at me with BS in your eyes. I saw I can read lips too, right? You guys thought you had muted, but I could read your lips when you said bull-shalaki, right? So I know, right? It just is what it is. Barbara Ann, you had a good open house, right?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. All right. And you're working with a couple people now from the open house?
Yes. Well, originally I checked the MLS for REOs in the Dunedin or close to that area, because Alexis I were going to do an open house together, and we did. Right. And when I do an open house for somewhere else, I always check what's available, even for my own, but what's available there. We were in a villa complex, and Alexis had one of her clients come, and anyway, she ends up selling them another villa in that complex. And that was our first open house. And then we didn't have any. And then I ended up, somebody referred a name to me, and I met and showed the lady it. The next day I had the open house, and she came. She ended up taking all my signs down because she wanted to do an offer.
Yeah, the client did?
She was waiting for me to get done with the hours of my open house. So I sat in there, anxious, and about when people were so interested. And she went out and said, time to take the signs down. And she went and took my eight signs down.
Good. I don't need more competition here. I don't want to compete against more offers. Let me go get these open house signs down. That was smart on her part. I like her.
Yeah. And it ended up that one lady that I picked up, she had a unit in there, but she wanted a more modern, fixed up one. And I made an appointment, and I went to her place to see her, and I discovered that actually she didn't realize the roof was leaking. Her building hadn't had the roof replaced, and she didn't report it to the management that the roof was leaking in her unit. So, and after going over everything, because she was a grant and she got a grant for $14,000 and a $10,000 first-time home buyer from the city, that it wasn't behooving for her to move. It would be better to get a HELOC so she could do the improvements that need to be done in the place.
So here's the key.
But I got a referral.
See, I'm just telling you, it's that activity breeds activity. That's all I can tell you, right? And I'm not making these stories up, right? You guys could sit there and it's just, and so kudos to you again. Way to take action, right? Activity will, and the universe will reward those who take action, right?
Greatest thing is this realtor that's had the listing.
Yeah.
He has given me exclusive. He has 5 more bank listings coming up, and he told me could be his exclusive lister to have open houses.
Wow.
The way it works. That's the way it works. I'm telling you.
On that one, and then the president of the homeowners association there said, I'm the only outside realtor that has ever come to her for all the information ahead of time. Because before we had the open house, I did that.
Yep.
And everything. And anyway, she gave me a lead and turned it. I think I've got a listing coming up in there. When the people come in town on the 1st of next month, because they told her they wanted to sell their unit.
See, I love, and by the way, this is, remember we talked about why we do this as a group, right, meeting? Because now the synergy, right? People sit there and say, hey, man, Kevin, he's newer in the business and he could do it. Shoot, no offense, Kevin, but if you could do it, I could do it, right? That's the way it goes, right? We're excited for them. We're excited for us and say, hey, look, you know what? I don't live in Lake Magdalene area or Dunedin. I live in there, I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I'm going to go here. So it reminded me, remember I talked about reading a proverb a day, right? And then, so yesterday's Proverbs was 20, of course, because I correspond it with the day of the month, right? Because there's 31 Proverbs, so it makes it nice and easy. Makes me, what proverb am I supposed to read today? Well, check my calendar. There it is, right? So yesterday's, right? Proverbs 20:4. So chapter 20, verse 4, all right? A sluggard does not plow in season, so at harvest time he looks but finds nothing. I don't know why I'm not busy. I don't know why I don't have a harvest. Well, it's because at planting time, you were watching Law and Order, right? You know what I mean? It's so in order to get things happening, you've got to get things happening, right? That's genius right there. How about you want to come to me on the top of the mountain, ask for the meaning of life, and sensei, right? How do I succeed in sales? Oh, young Daniel-san. In order to get things happening, you must get things happening. It's as simple as that, right? And we laugh, but it's the truth, right? It's just that activity breeds activity, and we can't cheat the law of the harvest, right? The Bible says so, right? We can't expect a harvest if we don't sow. There will be no reaping. Right? It's and we act like this is, oh, Bob, this is really new stuff. No, right? Try the beginning of time, right? Cain and Abel, one was the garden guy and one was the hunter. And by the way, one killed each other. So everybody thinks that we talked about that too, I think already, that everything, it's so bad in the world today. Well, Cain, Abel, Adam, and Eve, 4 people on earth, and one killed the other. 25% murder rate, all right, going on. So it's been going on for a while, all right, all this stuff. All right, so 2 great stories. Anybody have a question? I mean, I've got nothing to add to that about how do you get things going with the bank-owned open house, because those are 2 prime examples of how things happen and then other things happen, like Barbara Ann gets the listing because she just showed some initiative and asked for the stuff from the person who is at the HOA of the complex, and things happen. Bernie.
Well, why would Rio be a lower hanging fruit for open house?
Yeah, just because people tend, now again, don't get me wrong, the key is traffic, right? So if you got a regular open house and you can generate traffic, go for it, right? But you put foreclosure on a sign or bank owned on a sign. I like the word foreclosure in particular, and people tend to come. They're thinking, I'm going to steal something, right? Okay. Here's the deal of the century. That was my experience. Now, again, a well-placed regular open house, I'm sure can be very effective as well. And I don't care what you do, right? I just want you to get you chances to be in front of people, right?
So
go ahead.
How much in advance would you want to make it all known? I mean, it's not your listing, right?
Right.
And so you essentially go out there the same day of the open house to plant the signs. It's not like you can go into the listing because it's not your listing and say, I have an open house a week from now.
Yeah. No, right. You don't do that. But again, signs is, again, I didn't have all these opportunities when I was doing it. It was just, mine was signs driven. That's all. Okay. Now, if I had the opportunity like you guys do now, I'd probably put it in the MLS. If the listing agent allows me to advertise it, I'd push it on social media. I'd do all that kind of stuff as well. But I guarantee just signs if it's properly, it's a good location. And when I say good location, it's not like 52 turns, 3 roundabouts, 2 gates to get into the open house, right? We're not trying to keep people away. We're trying to get them there, right? So, because if one of your signs blows down, you don't want to be, you know, like, oh, I got lost, you can screwed, right? Gone, right? Couldn't find it. Or if Barbara Ann's client goes in and starts stealing the signs because she doesn't want anybody else to come in to write offers, then we're good. Barbara Ann, you got a question or an answer?
I was going to say that, like, the listing agent went and put it in MLS for me.
Perfect.
And the thing is, if you make the arrangement ahead of time, you could have it put in a week ahead of time that date it's going to be. So, you know it. And if they'll let you advertise, go ahead and, you know, and advertise it.
Because you need the permission from the listing agent anyway, right?
Correct. Absolutely. You cannot just, don't just show up and say, hey, I like this one without the permission from the listing agent. Right.
Although I have way back stood outside the door, parked my car at an REO. And then when people stopped and gave them my card, I did this years ago.
This is not sanctioned by Future Home Realty. This is a non-sanctioned.
I just had to share that. That was the past. That was the past a long time ago.
You know, but I can't argue with your motivation though. I love that. All right, your enthusiasm for doing that's perfect. So Bernie, does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right. Again, it doesn't matter, but I just found that you tend to. Plus, it's a natural. By the way, why wouldn't I just go stand at Publix and talk to people about it? Well, you can, but the problem is, how do you go from, hey, do you think this is a ripe cantaloupe to, hey, would you like to buy a home, right? That's an odd transition. Whereas when you're in an open house, is it safe for me to assume that let's have a real estate conversation, right? I can get to know you a little bit, but I'm going to get to know you in about 12 seconds, right? I'm not going to wait, literally, especially if you got too many people rolling through. Let's get down to it. I'll tell you this, back in the day, I had so many people rolling through at some of these that I would say, hey, look, because this was HUD open houses back then. They were sold by a sealed bid and all. It was different kind of animal, right? And so I had to explain to people how that one worked, right? So instead, I'd have like 4 or 5 people rolling through at the same time. So I'd say, hey, look, you know what? It's 10:08 right now. Once you wander around at 10:15, I'm going to do one quick little thing. Every 15 minutes, I'd give a little spiel on how these work, just so people would be around in a group. It's kind of, you know, so just have fun with it, adapt and do it, right? Whatever it takes.
Kevin.
Oh, we got signs. I can't see it. Where we are. There, it's perfect. Oh, and you even did a price on it. That's awesome.
Last week at Kissimmee, I went to the road and I went like this, the cars.
You were sign spinning?
I wasn't doing no dancing or anything like that. I wasn't doing air guitar, but I was holding the sign.
I want you to dress up in one of those gold suits and do the We Buy Gold kind of guy. That's awesome right there. See? Look at that.
Signs by tomorrow are very reasonable. That's where I had mine made up.
I love it. I love it. Some of those are more generic, right? The others are, if it's price specific, is not. So, but yeah, I would save some. That's awesome, Kevin. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Huge kudos. All right, cool. Well, we're already past our hour, so let's get on to the next slide. All right. Open houses. I'm telling you, I get excited about this stuff because, and by the way, you remember why we call it corn?
It goes
corn
fast.
Is quick. Yeah, boom. We plant it and we're harvesting, right? Soda reap cycle is fast. Kevin's already writing 2 offers tonight. All right. It brings a tear to my eye. Just thinking about it. Love that. Good job, man.
Hey, Bob, in the realtor notes with this home, the first 20 days is offered to owner occupants only.
Perfect. So it's one of those like a Fannie Mae type of thing or something that they want to promote to owner occupants, not investors. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. So your cash buyers are the one cash buyers is it going to live in it?
Yes, they're going to live in it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. All right, cool. Orange grows. All right. All sounds good. Kevin's excited. He's ready to do bank-owned open houses. I did them for 10 years. Every weekend, at least 2 a week for 10 years. All right. I don't know about that. I don't mind work, but that's work. Right? That's a capital W. All right, and work. For me, I'm just telling you, compared to teaching math, it was like putting meat before a tiger, man. I was like, holy smokes, I can make how much, right? Gee, many Christmas. Let's go to work, right? Let's make some hay while the sun is shining, and the sun shone for 10 years straight for me, right? So I just kept doing it, and I was pouring in. Now, down the road, if I'd had me teaching me back in the day, all right, which I wish I would have, I didn't have me leading a Zoom class. There was no Zoom, but I didn't have anybody like me even in the office that was helping me say, hey, Bob, you got to get really good at converting those corn stalks into orange trees, right? I said, what do you mean? Well, orange trees are really cool because once you do the work, right, it may take a little longer for it to produce fruit, but once an orange tree starts producing fruit, you don't have to chop it down to get the fruit, right? You go back next year and the tree's still there and there's some fruit on the tree. Now, we all know you have to tend it, right? You still got to fertilize them, got to prune them every once in a while, got to do all that kind of stuff. But that's the true vision, right? What if we could just have orange groves where instead of having to always, and it was more, I think we talked about the fact that I got a little arrogant. Imagine that, me, come on, right? I got a little arrogant and just said, you know what? I can create 100 transactions a year out of thin air, right? Kevin just created 2 new buyers today in 5 hours, right? So I thought, you know what? Why would I do anything else? And I became, and so I didn't even bother about trying to generate business from my old clients, right? It's like, why? But, you know, hello, McFly, right? Why wouldn't I? It's stupid. I'm not saying do what I did. I'm just telling you, learn from my mistake. And that is, let's not allow that to go to waste, right? Kevin, you got your hand raised?
Just accidentally, but I do got a comment,
Okay.
Todd, about, Bob, about the CRM.
Yeah.
I've got the big hairy one with all kinds of features to it, and you almost need an associate's degree to operate it.
Yep.
Since I've changed my plan to the corn planting mechanism, I'm just using my iPhone notes to take notes. I can dictate into it. If it gets to be where I need to implement them into the CRM, where I'm going to send them a birthday card, an anniversary card, and a first year to new home card, I'll raise them to that level, but my iPhone is my CRM. Until it's overwhelming, the CRM and the amount of software you have to learn or you need to learn to get this business going.
Yeah, and you know what? iPhone. Yeah, your iPhone notes, a simple Excel spreadsheet, all right, can suffice. By the way, I always encourage you to start a CRM if you're going to do one, just by putting in an Excel spreadsheet or whatever Apple's version of that is. I know I'm behind the times because I don't do Apple, but that being said, whatever that is, right? Google Sheets or whatever they call it. But because all the CRMs have the ability to data dump into them from one of those formats, right? And if you don't think data is critical, you're wrong, right? Because it is, right? That's why we are being sucked of our data every minute of every day, right? Because then big tech understands that. That being said, orange grows eventually. Why not? Now, the problem with most real estate companies when they teach this concept, this orange growth concept, working your sphere of influence and all that kind of stuff, it's always high pressure, even though they try and pretend it's not. It's like, go ask your friends for business. Go make sure they know you're in the business. Go, right? Get your church directory out and send them note cards. Get your Christmas list out now and make sure you start pounding those things. And every week they need to see something from you, right? They are going to unsubscribe.
Quickly.
Everybody understand?
Yeah.
Okay, because treat them the way you want to be treated, right? Okay, you think about what you would do if you got hammered with people, and people always asking you with that commission breath, right? Oh my gosh, Kevin, enough's enough, right? Okay, dude, right? We used to be friends, but now you got this real estate license, and like every conversation has to be, do you know what the average sale price per square foot is on that, right? Like, you used to be fun, now you're a realtor. What happened, right? Okay. So lose that idea, but just go do some nice things for people, right? Going back to that slide. Now, the thing I want to focus on this portion of the book. Now, when we say orange groves, hopefully you guys have all read. If not, I'm encouraging you to go read. Again, I lost my dust cover. 7 levels. This is the little black book. 7 levels of communication, right? And maybe you can see that portion. There you go. That's a better one. Thanks, Bernie. All right, with the dust cover. All right, Gene, good job. Awesome. 7 levels of communication. It's just going to teach you how to be good to people, right? Right? Just go deliver value. There's the ISBN number if you need it. If you can deliver value first, right? You go, give them massive value, and then they will reciprocate. In the book, Michael calls it the generosity cycle, right? The circle of, generosity, where it comes back to you, but you have to initiate, right? But you don't initiate by asking. And specifically, we talked about stop asking for referrals.
Yes.
Right. Matter of fact, we don't even like the term referral. At the end, we get to the point where we're allowed to have a conversation about an introduction, right, to one of their friends and family. But that's already because you've earned the right, right? We got to earn the right first. Cool. Great book. It teaches you how to do that. The thing I want to focus on in 10 minutes is these 4 rituals, right? Because this is going to be awesome about how just changing your life. I'm going to move you guys around on I know you guys can't see me moving, but your screen gets in my way. All right. Not that I don't like your faces, but I'm moving your faces away. So make sure you yell out if you need to talk to me. All right, so 4 enriching rituals. In my book, it's on pages 60 and 61. It talks about the morning ritual. And the morning ritual is when we're getting up, we have a structure to our morning. It's not getting up wondering what we're going to do. All right. In him, he teaches affirmations, blessings, personal prep, exercise, right? If you want to read, there's a follow-up book to this book. It's called The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents, written by Michael Mayer and a co-author. I can't remember his name real quick. Anybody read that one? They read The Miracle Morning? If you're looking, it's not an assignment, but if you're looking for one to read, it's a good one. By the way, it picks up the story of whatever, was it Rick? Who's the agent in the book again?
Yeah, it's Rick.
Yeah,
Rick
it picks up the story, Rick, and the mortgage lady. If you didn't see, there was a little bit of a, kind of a little connection going on there. Yeah, well, wait till you see the next book. All right. There's more where that came from. Holy smokes. Right.
I just ordered it, Bob.
All right.
I say that's a deal that he pulled off very well.
Perfect. All right. So, but in there, he talks about where it's a real good one to read. But if nonetheless, go back and revisit the morning ritual, right? And what does it look like to have a structured morning? Do you know that if you win your morning, right? So here's the deal, right? This is bonus material. Learn to win the morning, because when you win the morning, you win the day.
Yeah.
All right. And when you win the day, you win the week. And when you win the week, you win the month. And when you win the month, you win the quarter. And when you win the quarter, you win the year. Right? And you win enough years, you are sitting on a porch with an orange grove watching people pick your oranges, and your only job is to click the button and make sure you have the passcode to check your balance in your account and see that it's going up. Right? It's that happens, right? But it starts with win in the morning. Right? Because if you learn to win the morning, you win the day. So if you win enough days, you win enough weeks. You win enough weeks, you win enough months. You win enough months, you win enough quarters. You win enough quarters, you win enough years. Right? That's just the way it goes. But we got to pay attention. Right? We don't want to wait till October 21st to look at our goals that we set back in January 1. Right? Because we missed too many morning wins and now we're way behind. Right? Aren't we blessed that God gave us a 24-hour cycle?
Yes.
Right? If anybody ever, isn't it great that we can just wake up and say, hey, look, any military guys out there, gals, anybody? All right? If you know this, yesterday was FUBAR. Anybody know what FUBAR means? You ever heard the term? All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
something beyond recognition.
Yes, effed up beyond all recognition, right? All right. And by the way, if you're ever watching a military movie and they say, hey, FUBAR, right? You know what these military guys are talking about, right? But it's effed up beyond all recognition. And yesterday could be FUBAR, but we wake up and the sun we're in a new cycle, right? Learn to dismiss it and put it behind us. Gene, we're kind of learning that. I don't know if you've missed the last couple. I know you've had other things going on, but in this Enthusiasm Makes the Difference book by Peele,
Yes,
he's heavy on that.
He is.
Right?
Yeah. Gotta keep going.
Yeah, and forget about it or learn from it or celebrate it. I'm not saying everything. It could be, A-bar. Awesome beyond all recognition, right? Okay, it could be an A-bar. Yesterday was A-bar, right? It doesn't have to be effed up. It could be awesome, right? And that's okay, but both ways. If yesterday was effed up, then let it be effed up, learn from it and move on. If yesterday was awesome, don't sit and rest on your laurels and think that, hey, today's going to be awesome just because yesterday was, right? It's a conscious decision to make each day a victory, right? So start with that morning ritual and it's going to be different for each of us, right? So I'm going to challenge you to do that. Pre-leave ritual. I'm going to scope through this, but you guys, if you missed this, the only thing I'm going to focus on right now is your first and 10, right? So most of us don't have desks. You might have a desk, right? My desk, because I travel quite a bit, is wherever my laptop is right then. Okay. So my desk is any flat surface that contains my laptop, right? So what I had to learn to do and what I took away from this is that, and I just want to share this, this could revolutionize your whole life, right? That's a powerful statement, right? Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah, all right. Well, if you want more,
Got it right.
go to bobmcdougall.com and order the new site. It says only $39.95. Okay. No teases here. I'm going to give it to you, right? So here's what it is. If you are knee deep in doing something right now, right, and you're working on 3 different files, you've got a listing, you've got a sale, and you've got a buyer that you're trying to arrange showings for, right? All of a sudden you look at the watch and you're like, oh crap, it's time to go pick up the kids. It's time to go to yoga. It's time to whatever, okay? Whatever your next thing is, and you look at it, it's supposed to leave 5 minutes ago. Most of the time you either just shut the laptop down, leave everything there and go, right? I'm going to challenge you. If you know you have a next place to be and you're in there working, right? Set the alarm on your phone for 7 minutes before you have to leave. That's all it's going to take. The 7 minutes will change your life, right? Because what you're going to do is your first and 10 is going to be created right then and there. You're going to take that first folder. That's the already contract accepted. And you say, I had that one open. So tomorrow I need to make sure I follow up with the appraiser and check with the lender about how financing is coming along. And you're going to write appraisal on 123 Main Street. And here's his phone number or her phone number, right? You're going to write lender on 123 Main Street. Here's the email address that you're going to send, right? Boom. Close the folder, put it away, right? Next one, what is it? Oh, that's the one I'm showing properties. Oh, I've got 4 out of the 7 ready to go. All right, I need to complete setting up showings for Susie Johnson, right? And remaining MLS sheets are in the folder, right? Just make yourself a note. Boom, it's there. Put that folder away. Here's the listing, right? You got to, follow up. I still need the addendum. I'm missing the addendum for the lead-based paint for the house. The other agent hasn't, whatever it is, right? You write it down, write the contact information down, and you're done. Plus, here's what happened. 2 things happen. Hear me on this. This is awesome, right? Tomorrow, when it comes time to go back to work and you're back at your desk, right? You open up that first and 10, you've got a to-do list, and boom, you're done in 22 minutes what was going to take you 2.5 hours. Because what you had to do before was, I got to get back into this folder. Where was I? There's something, was it the appraiser? What did I need to do, right? There's something on that. God, what was that? It's already done for you, right? Because it's fresh in your mind right now when you're closing up shop, right? So write it down, have it everything to do, and you're going to be that much more effective tomorrow. I'm just telling you, it will change your life. That's number 1. Number 2 is it will allow you to flip the sign. We talk about flipping the sign. It's okay to be closed as a realtor. This business, once you get busy enough, can consume you, right? Where you feel like you're doing it 24/7. And now the people who you promised to be loyal to and that they were going to be the highest priority in your life, right? Start to get pushed way down on the totem pole, right? When you write things down, you're going to gain more time that you didn't even know you had tomorrow. But now mentally, right, you've closed the shop, right? Wouldn't it be nice if we owned like I always wanted to own a stationery store. Wouldn't that be great? I just like the smell of paper, right? I you know, don't you? In stationery stores, they always maybe sell some candles too. I love candle smell, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, wouldn't life be great if you could just make a living selling candles and stationery, right? So, but if I did that, guess what I'd do at 5 o'clock or whatever closing time was? I'd flip the sign and I'm gone, and I'm not really thinking about it, you know, as I'm going to bed as much as I do in real estate. I guarantee that, right? But what happens is when you get it off your mind and onto a list, it frees you up, and now you can quasi close the shop, right? It's okay. So even if your mind wants to naturally go, oh, what about, I said, no, I wrote it down. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. It's on the list, right? Now I can go be a dad. Now I can go be a husband. Now I can go be whatever your other, you know, passions are in life outside of real estate, which I hope you have, because if that's your only passion is real estate, all right, I don't want to hang with you, all right, okay, right, so, you know, it allows you to do other things, but it's really, really cool. It's a twofold thing. It's going to make you more productive tomorrow, and it's going to allow your mind to kind of data dump right now. And I'm telling you, 7 minutes is all it takes. It's the best 7 minutes that'll change your life tomorrow and going forward.
Yeah, I got a few more wine bottles that I got today that I want.
That's right. Love it. All right, Sandra. All right, you can be passionate about wine. There's nothing like that. Or sangria or whatever. That's beautiful. Love that. That's too good. All right. But I'm just telling you, it will change how you do things. Everybody cool on that? So that's a pre-leave ritual. And it only takes, like I said, it might not even take you 7 minutes. Plus, you're going to show up to pick up your kid on time, which makes life a little easier for your kid, right? Because they're not, you know, going through the stress of, did Dad forget me again? Did Dad forget me again? All right, none of that. All right. Pre-sleep ritual. I like to do visualization and prayer and just get it off my mind, right? I do a quick, you know, maybe quick inventory, maybe. You know, it's up to you of how the day went. Look, it takes 3 minutes at the most, right? Just a quick. Let me go back to Jean. I'm going to pick on her because of the book we're reading right now. And Sandra, are you in the book club right now? Are you reading that book with us?
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I just been a little crazy because I had some out of state buyers.
Yep.
But the house, that was my almost $1 million contract.
But
the house was needed too much work.
You'll get it back. Yeah. I guarantee it. All right, perfect. But we're reading Enthusiasm Makes a Difference by Norman Vincent Peale. It was written back in the early 60s. And if you're going to pick it up, I just give you this disclaimer. There you go. Jean can show it to you. And that's our book club. We're reading chapters 5 and 6 this week for Tuesday. But in that, one of the things, I can't remember if it's just this section, Jean, or not, when he talks about a guy, and it's old school stuff. So he talks about how he would get to the end of the day and he have all this stuff in his pocket or his trousers. I'll tell you when it was written. He calls it trousers, right? Okay, right. And so, right. So he has all this stuff in his trousers. But he said, because if I don't, his haberdasher, you guys know what a haberdasher is? It's like a tailor, right? A haberdasher is a tailor, right? So his haberdasher, who made all his suits, told him, hey, Norman, you can't hang these up with all the stuff in your pocket. It's going to ruin the way the suit hangs on your body, right? You have to empty the pockets, right? And it's just, and these mental images that I read that book 15 years ago, 18 years ago, and I can still remember the chapter when he's talking about that. And I heard times when I'm taking stuff out of my pocket, I'll say, you know what? I need to mentally empty the mind as well, right? Quick inventory. I'm going to rest better. I'm going to do a lot of other things better if I can just get that done, right? So learn to have a pre-sleep ritual. And this one, and I literally, I promise I'll be done in 2 minutes. Sunday night ritual, this is the best, right? This is the one we talked about in the past. About once a week, we're going to analyze where we are based upon what we said we're going to do, what we actually did, and now we're going to plan the week coming up. You might not have it down. I don't want every block filled in your calendar. I just want to have some semblance of a plan, an idea of how we did on last week's plan. That's why I like Sunday. You can do it any day of the week. Gene, I think you're doing Friday. Right. Yep, see? Perfect. And just pick a day and a consistent day that you think, because Gene says, a lot of times in real estate, your week begins with the Saturday, right? Because a lot of times we're busy on the weekends. So that's not a bad idea at all anyway. So I like that. But whatever it is, be consistent. He calls it in the book, the Sunday night ritual. And just, you plan your week, you check how you did. He even makes a joke, well, and people laugh, like, oh, right, schedule your clothes and think about what you're going to eat for the week and all that stuff. People are like, what? You're crazy. Here's what I can tell you about this. All right. Today is what? Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday. If you don't know what you're eating for lunch on Friday, you lose.
Going out to lunch.
Yeah. Are you? Where are you going to go?
I'm going to slice a piece or pizza slice.
Okay, perfect. But there's a plan there. And when I say that because if you're like me, right, I don't know, 54, and my metabolism isn't quite what it used to be, right? Okay. And even when my metabolism wasn't, I was not blessed with good genes, right? And so even when I was younger, it's like if I didn't have a plan, right, I didn't know what I was having for lunch that day, much less 2 days from now, but that day. But I guarantee this, it always ended up being something with a bun on it. Okay, right? Okay, and for me and my metabolism and everything else, right, those carb loads, you weren't quite working, right? And so I had to learn that if I didn't plan what I was going to do, then I lost, right? And so, I'm not saying you have to, people say, oh, I can never plan what I'm going to wear. I said, who's been on a cruise? Who's gone on a 7-week vacation or 7-day vacation?
Not now.
Well, not now, right? Okay. Okay. Who's ever been on a 7-day vacation? Anybody? What did you have to do with your clothes?
Organize them.
Every day.
Yeah, plan. Here's what I'm going to wear Monday. Here's what I'm going to wear Tuesday. I got it. I even went and checked the weather to know what the weather's going to be and yada, 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 right? Okay, so I can wear sleeveless on Wednesday, but a cold front's rolling in, so I'm going to, but we act like, people look at me like I have 3 eyes, when I say schedule yourself out for your week. Why not, right? Especially if you're a young mother, a family, and, this includes making sure you know where the backpacks are, right, for the morning. Yeah, this whole idea of running around, looking for things at the last minute does not breed for a whole lot of just quality time on the way to school. It's like stress levels up here, like, holy smokes, we're 3.5 minutes late. And if we 3.5 minutes in this traffic costs us 12 minutes. Right. And yeah. We know that. And, and stress levels are high. And, oh, my mom, I forgot my science project back at, you know what? I am telling you, there is freedom in structure. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh, there
right? Yeah. That when we can structure ourselves, it frees us up. All right. That's one of the Monday motivations I always roll with on sometime throughout the week is that don't forget that we can be freer as we become more structured. All right. So revisit that. Okay. Suggestions for the committee. Here's some things that I'm going to challenge you to do some of these this week, right? Or this next 2 weeks before we meet again. I'm going to, start slow. All right. Baby steps. All right. Remember that movie, What About Bob? Anybody remember that one? What About Bob? Maybe I remember it because I like that. I like the name of the movie for sure, right?
A little biased.
Yeah, if you can, okay? But he talks about baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. All I want, try this. In between now and 2 weeks from now, one time, do the morning ritual. One time, do the pre-sleep ritual. One time, do the pre-leave ritual, right? One time. Time block a morning, not the whole day, just a morning. I feel like, what? That's easy. If you haven't done it, it's not easy, right?
Easy.
I want you to just, because I want to see you start to win just one day in the next 2 weeks. Just win it, right? Because what happens is when you win one day and you're like, boy, I feel better. I want some more of that, right? Your mind just starts to take over and says, hey, how come Wednesday was so good? Well, that's the day I actually laid out my clothes the night before and made sure the kids' backpacks are ready. I planned what I was going to, I mean, whoa, what's the common, theme here, right? Well, if I want some more of that, what do I need to do? Do some more of that, right? So, by the way, Judy, I love your window cling. Is that a window cling?
No, it's actually a plastic. It lights up too.
Oh, does it? Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that was one of those window clings that stick in there. I love that. That's cool. Light it up for us.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, the plug.
All right, go find the plug. All right. Time block, physical fitness and eating right. All right. I'm telling you guys, it'll change your life. Once you get that habit, you start to feel better about, that is beautiful. Look at that. Very nice. I love it. Love that. When you remember, because we're going to stop chasing business and start attracting business, right? And when I'm disciplined and I start to do things, I feel attractive. It just, there's an air about me, right? And there's an air not about me when I don't do it, by the way, right? But there's an air about me that just people like, I want some of that, right? I don't know, there's something. Give me some of that, right?
It's an aura.
It is an
It's
aura.
an aura.
Right? It is, right? And it's there. So why not? And if that's, and I'm just telling you, these are things that work for me. You guys, 10 power notes. If you don't know what a power note is, read the book. All right. Traffic generating event. Kevin's ahead of us. He's got another one tomorrow. Same place?
Yeah, same place.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful. Got the signs ready. Be way ahead of schedule. You're going to have enough time to change your shirt. Don't change your shirt. You're writing 2 offers. Don't mess up a good thing, dude. All right, absolutely. Wear the same shirt. It's your lucky shirt. All right. All right. Get an accountability partner. Do the Sunday night ritual one time. You're only going to have 2 Sunday nights, though. The other days you have 14 days. This one you only got 2 Sundays. So do or you can do a Friday night, Gene. All right, you're allowed. Okay. Right. Do it once a week. Consistent thing. And start by making small promises to yourself and keeping them. We read a book, I don't know, Jeannie, if you remember way back at the first book we read from Covey, it wasn't 7 Habits of Highly Effective People we read. It's called Principle-Centered Leadership.
Very good.
And one of the things that he taught in leadership is start by making small promises to yourself and showing yourself that you can keep them, because they will build on each other. Too many times we sit there, here's the line in the sand. I'm drawing it now. I haven't worked out in 15 years, and tomorrow I'm running 82 miles. Right? Okay, whatever. Okay, no. Start small. Walk 10 minutes, right? But just show yourself, I said I was going to do it, and I did it, right? I'm telling you, because once you start that pattern of, boy, I can trust myself, because full disclosure here, I've been in stages, it's been a while of my life where I would try and make statements like that and my mind was not where it needs to be. And I had failed on myself so many times that my mind said, bull, right? You aren't going to do it. You can say it all you want, Bob, but it ain't happening. You and I both know, right? Those 2, man, that devil on my left shoulder, right shoulder, I can't remember which one it was, right? And at this stage, the devil was on both shoulders, right? Right? And he was just whispering in both ears, and he was just letting me have it, right? But you get the angel on both of your, and again, if you're de-churched, then make it whatever you want. Jiminy Cricket, how about that? We all love Jiminy Cricket. Wouldn't he be on the shoulder telling us what to do, right? So whatever it is, just telling you, pour in some positive into you, say, yes, you can. And once you start to do that, yes, you can on a little thing, it starts to become a medium thing, and it becomes the bigger thing, right? And it just starts to flow, and it's momentum, the positive momentum that you can't stop. All right, I'm late. Here are your things. All the things we agree to do: getting 8 hours of sleep, drinking 64 ounces of water, agreeing to do 30 minutes cardiovascular exercise 3 days a week, volunteering it. Oh, at a nonprofit. Didn't know it was at the end of my slide. Donate 10% of your income to a church, synagogue, or other nonprofit. Worship once a week, preferably at a corporate worship service. And by the way, this is the part where I remember very back at the first session, I told you you can't be offended by me, right? Because you didn't pay me anything to get to come to the session. So I'm not worried about you asking for a refund. All right, there are no refunds, all right, because it doesn't matter if you paid me zero. I'll double your money back. How's that? All right, double zero zero. Okay, and then just finish, right? Don't just start. Don't be just one of those people. Did you notice, by the way, we're in the third session? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including me. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We won't count Alexis twice. There's 11 of us. I think we had 42 in the first session. Did I tell you people would drop off?
Yeah.
I've been doing this too long, right? Okay. Don't just start the race, finish. I think there's a Bible verse about that, but that's all right. I'll let you dig that one up. All right. Okay. But it's all sorts of good stuff in there, guys. So continue on. All right. Barbara Ann, you got to go get to the president's speech. Did you record it?
No, that's all right. The World Series is on. That's more important right now.
Oh, the Rays up yet? Did Rays score 4 runs in the first?
No, just one so far.
They did score 1?
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
All right, good deal. See, look at that.
Yay.
But I wanted to share quick a lead generating.
Yeah.
I did. I've had the only signs I had was moving sale, and I stuck them out. And people said, and I said, yeah, I'm moving back to my house. I haven't lived there a year, but I got a different motive of how I, because I'm real cheerful. And I said, do you own a house?
There you go.
And I had a pocket full of my cards with me also this time. And I started talking to them if they didn't. And I said, why not? And I talked to them about the first time home buyer program. So actually I've got 2 crock pots.
Yeah, crock pots. If you guys don't know what a crock pot buyer, crock pot buyer is it's that 520 credit score, right? and remember, they don't get past category 1, right? Able to buy, right? So they don't, but we don't throw them away if they have a willingness. We put them in the crock pot. We start slow cooking. All right, and we're going to come back in a couple of months. We're going to lift the lid and say, oh, 560. All right, keep cooking. All right.
I have 38 of
That's
those.
awesome.
But remember, we're not eating them now, right? We can't eat them now, right? And so that's why we're going to continue working with and finding people that we can. So that's awesome, Barbara Ann.
Well, actually, they want to wait till after the first of the year. They want to see what goes with the elections, and they are 2. Well, I've got 2 I could say that are that low score, but I have 2 that are up at over 700.
Look at that. See, that's just they're just crock pot because they're waiting for that's awesome. Very good. And I promised we'd get out, so I'm 10 minutes late already. I'm going to let everybody go. Great job. Our implementers, I'm going to point out our implementers. Barbara Ann, kudos to you. Kevin in the USA, kudos to you. All right. We want to see what happens next time. Oh, let's check the calendar real fast. I think 2 weeks from today will be all right, but I just want to confirm. What is 2 weeks from today?
That's going to be
November
The
4th.
4th of November.
The 4th of November, and there still will be dangling chads and fights over who won. So I'm still waiting for the mail-in ballots. I'm not, no, yes. All right. Let's see. Let's see, 6:37. Yes, I can do it. I've got, yes. So let's do November 4th, 7 p.m. right here on Zoom.
Yes.
Cool?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Bob.
All right, good to see you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you too.
Awesome
See
session.
ya.
Have a great evening, Bob.
All right, thanks. Have a great day. Have fun. Have a good week.
You too.
You too.
All right.